Today we're taking a look at the Shure MV7 Plus, and we're going to answer the question, is it worth upgrading over the Shure MV6? As well, we're going to shoot this out against 5 or 6 other USB/XLR microphones that happen to be like half or even down to like a fifth as expensive as this microphone. Let's start with the sound test. We'll jump into some acoustic guitar, and we're going to start using USB mode only. So all of these samples are all USB. Well, I would love to know what you thought of those examples. Let me know down below in the comments. To my ears, and again, this is totally subjective, the MV7 was definitely the nicest and most natural sounding of the lot. To my ears, it sounded the most like how it sounded when I recorded it in the space. The MV6 definitely sounded a little bit brighter. It could have had something to do with microphone placement. I had it a bit further away from the guitar, but they also do advertise this as a brighter option to sort of help you cut through with your dialogue in your gaming sessions. So the Fifine K688 actually, to my ears, sounded pretty darn close to this in terms of it just being flat and pretty, like, I don't want to say like underwhelming, but just very natural. And that microphone is actually only like a fifth of the price of this mic, so pretty sweet. I will say with the Fifine K688, something to mention is that the handling noise with that microphone is abysmal. So if you're ever going to move while you have your headphones plugged in, it sounds like crap. As for the other three, the Maono PD100x, I'm just reading off my screen here because these numbers are a lot, the Movo UM6 and the Feelworld PM1, I found that those three really had that sort of like radio broadcast kind of scoop in the mid-range, which to me on acoustic guitar didn't sound that nice. So not a massive fan on acoustic guitar, but let's try these on female vocals so you guys can hear how this sounds in a voiceover application.
Did you know subscribing has been around since the 1600s? Back then it was for newspapers, but now it's for joining audio communities online. Subscribing today is way easier than it used to be. No paperwork, no postage stamps, carrier pigeons, just a click to connect with people who think microphones are a personality type. Fun fact, subscribing to magazines used to cost money every month, but here it is completely free, and you literally just have to click a button. Think of subscribing as pulling up a chair in a big room full of sound lovers who all claim analog is better, even if they don't truly believe it. Think of it like bookmarking your favorite content, but instead of a dusty old page that smells like grandma's house, you're locking in access to a community of people willing to fight over polar patterns. By subscribing, you're not just helping a channel grow. You're saying, I'm a nerd just like Randy. So welcome to the club.
Now, something to note about these two microphones, if you are comparing the MV7 to the MV6, MV7 Plus, I guess, is that the MV7 Plus also has an XLR output. And that's where the MV6 is actually the only one in that whole lot that only has USB output. So it is something to consider, is that the margin between these two microphones gets even greater when you start considering the USB signal versus the XLR signal. That's where you're really going to start to see the differences of these microphones unfold. But how does this microphone's XLR and USB signals compare? Let's take a listen to that. Okay, this sample is being recorded inside of a Studio Bricks isolation booth about 5 inches away from the Shure MV7 Plus. I'm recording the XLR signal into a Sound Devices Mix Pre6 2nd edition and recording the USB signal directly into Pro Tools. Both are peaking right now at about -12 dB. Okay, this sample is being recorded inside of a Studio Bricks isolation booth about 5 inches away from the Shure MV7 Plus. I'm recording the XLR signal into a Sound Devices Mix Pre6 2nd edition and recording the USB signal directly into Pro Tools. Both are peaking right now at about -12 dB. Let's talk about the build differences between the two of them. As for the weight, I'll show you guys on screen. These are actually pretty similar in weight, which is interesting when you consider that the MV6 is actually quite a bit smaller. You can see here it's a little bit more narrow. This microphone's a little bit more chunky, has this big metal yoke to it, whereas the MV6 just has this sort of plastic microphone clip. One big difference to consider is the length of the USB-C cable that comes with them. With the MV7 Plus, oh my God, these numbers are killing me. MV7 Plus, the USB cable is like 9 or 10 feet. It is awesome. It is great. You can run it down your boom pole, behind your desk, sneak it down to your computer. It's fantastic. With the Shure MV6, they give you this tiny little like 3-foot USB. It's barely enough to go from your microphone to your computer on your desk. So don't include stuff like that. Sure, that's kind of a slight win for the MV7 just in terms of having a better USB. I want to do a little bit of a practical demonstration here for you. So last night I was playing some Warzone, and for half the night I used the MV7 Plus, and for the other half the night I used the MV6, and I just recorded directly into the MOTIV Mix app, which I'll show you guys in a minute. No processing, no noise reduction, no EQ. These are both the microphones right out of the box, and here's my in-game comms. Enjoy.
Yo, what's going on? It's first game on. Hope somebody's ready to carry me. All right, where to? I think we're alone here. I said that, and then this guy landed here. Yo, I have money. If you buy me back, I can get yellow back right away. Or I can get blue back right away. She might be hungry, but I give her a pretty small meal today. Might be worth topping it up for her. Oh, yeah, let's go. This is a great call. I feel like this is the right place to be. Let's go. Buy station on me. Oh, that one's good. That one's good. Yeah, see it. Above us. That buy that we're just at has a team there. Sick, yeah. I'm watching kind of middle, watching for the cross. Yeah, I can kind of see over left right now. Top of this building, air conditioner. Yeah, Alpha, keep that angle on that this little gap right here on the wall.
Okay, I've got the USB hooked up now, so you're listening to this via USB, and let's take a look at the MOTIV Mix app, because this is where a big part of the value of this microphone really comes into play. So this is the MOTIV Mix app, and basically you can drag any of your sources in here, and then you have a little bit more control over them. Now, I will say, these functions only really work for the Shure microphones. You can also drag, like I can drag my interface in here, for instance. Let's go volt, there we go. It's just grayed out. You can't click any of the settings. So first up here, we have our gain settings. So there is manual gain and there's also auto level. I would recommend not using auto level just because I mentioned this in the video that I covered the MV6, but if you put auto level on and then let's say you move away from your computer for a second, you're just typing notes or you go to get your lunch or something, it's going to bring up that level slowly over the course of like 10 or 15 seconds. So you're going to get all that sort of room noise just creeping up. Then when you come back to talk, it's going to go back down, but you're just going to hear that fluctuation in room tone. And I find that really annoying. So you can just set the level conservatively and you'll be good to go. Then we do have a compressor. So compressor on light, on medium, on heavy, and it's a bit much. So I might just put that on light or even off. Check. Hey, 1, 2, 3. Check. Hey, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'll put it on light for now. Limiter is great to have just to stop you from peaking. Next up, we have our monitor mix. And what's important to note about these is that these have no effect if you're using another interface to listen back from. So if you have your headphones plugged into your computer, this won't have any effect on your headphones. This only works if you're plugged into the microphone, the headphone port on the microphone. Then we have our tone option here. So I can bring this all the way down to 100% dark, 100% bright. And I find somewhere kind of in the middle, maybe a little bit dark. Sounds good. Next up, we have reverb. Check. To me, this is like, let me turn this off. Oh my God. To me, this is super novel. I don't really think I would ever use that. The only use case I can think for that is like, maybe if you're plugging in an acoustic guitar or like you're just plugging into your phone and you want to record acoustic guitar or something like that. Maybe in that case, it's like kind of nice to put on some reverb, but it's a bit novel to me. Real-time denoiser, I'll turn this off. Quite a bit of noise. It's actually doing quite a lot, which is great. This is with it turned on. Check. So it is eating your audio a little bit to use this. Popper stopper, let's turn this off. Peter Piper packed a pack of pickled peppers. On. Peter Piper packed a pack of pickled peppers. Yeah, it's doing a little bit. Kind of cool. And then we have a high pass filter. I would always just leave it on 75 because 150 is going to start to eat some of your voice. Check. Hey. Yeah. Now, with the LEDs, there is one gripe that I have in here. So there's like this live mode that'll show you like, whoa, it shows you all the cool colors your microphone can do. There's pulsing, which Oh, I guess it's showing like related to my gain. And then I just leave it on solid and I just put it at like this nice blue and I put it at the lowest level just so there's just a touch of blue. If I'm filming in the dark, it looks kind of nice. The one thing is though, you can't turn this off. What I did find out though, is that you can just make it black and black is off. So they should just have a little off switch. There's no like it should be brightness off, low, medium, high, max. Just some food for thought. Now, the last thing I'll say about the settings of this microphone is that it is exceptionally gain hungry. And this is the same with the SM7B, same with this microphone. They require a lot of gain. And that means that they tend to be a little bit noisier. So let's do a little bit of a noise test right now. So for this noise test, I talked into the mic in our Studio Bricks isolation booth for a few minutes. Then I recorded some silence. I normalized the whole conversation to -23 LUFS. Then I took a measure of the silence. Now, -60 or greater is good. These were sitting around -55, so it's not great. And what's interesting here is that using the USB, that gets even worse. So you are trading a bit of like, you're balancing convenience with hiss. So a little bit more convenience, a little bit worse hiss. Do I like this as a USB microphone? Okay, here's my thought on do I like this as a USB mic. I don't think that I do, because I don't think I would justify spending like $250 on a USB microphone, because the law of diminishing returns is much stronger for USB microphones than for the XLR counterparts. So what I mean by that is that the maximum quality that you can receive from a microphone outputting via USB is not that much more than a cheaper microphone. So like that margin just gets so slim. It's kind of like getting fast food, but getting the expensive version of fast food. It's like, you know, it might be a little bit nicer, but tomorrow you're still gonna feel like crap. So all that said, I really do like the sound quality of the MV7 Plus. I think it sounds really nice and flat, whereas the MV6 was a little bit bright. So to me, this is a great tool for like on your desk, and then you have that flexibility, being able to bust out a USB cable, put it in a bag, take it to go, record into your phone. There's a whole bunch of things you can do just because it is USB-C. So for that reason, it is super flexible, definitely a workhorse type microphone.